1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Reverse. The glory.
LSJ Fiero.
Hey, we're back with another episode of Project LSJ Fiero, and it's been getting really hard to concentrate on doing something like this project with everything that's been going on in the world. And there's been days that I've contemplated just not doing any of it anymore. You know, couldn't there be something better I could be doing with my time, or should I be spending more time with my family? I've been doing a lot of that actually, and I feel like some of the best things I can do is continuing to give back to all of you guys. Since we're not working as much, we can work on this, I guess. And one day this stupid little car should run. We're working on motor mounts on the upper side of the cradle. That's exciting. We are being proudly supported by Over the Top Performance at overthetopperformance.com. They make parts for Ecotechs and also some other platforms. They make some of the best quality Ecotech performance parts that you can buy, and you're supporting a man's dream and small business as well. He makes beautiful stuff out of aluminum on his CNC machine, and everything I've ever gotten from him has been super top-notch quality. They have been super generous in supporting Lightspeed Fieros. Thank you, Joshua, from Over the Top Performance. We can finally get an idea of how the engine is going to look in the engine compartment, and we actually have all the clearance we need to do things, and I think it's going to look really beautiful when it's done. Decided for the transmission side mount, we are going to do some sort of hoop. This is just an extra part we had left over in the shop, but we're going to cut it down and attach it in some way. Do this beautiful machined OTTP mount. And then on the other side, we'll be using this other machined OTTP mount here. And I think it's going to look something like this, coming up to that. Interestingly, we're actually reversing the mounts. This mount would normally go on this side, and this mount would normally go over here. But being that it's the same bushing inside, it doesn't really matter what side we use for what, as long as it works in our application. So that's kind of cool as well. I started off trying to figure out how I could make a bracket that I could then shape to get out of the way of the transmission. I went through a couple iterations, but then I decided in a long angled piece of metal with two studs coming out of it to attach to the OTTP mount. I welded two pipes going down to the cradle after this scene was recorded. All right, so I haven't filmed all this process because I just don't look like I know what I'm doing. I'm figuring it out. It would have been a lot of boring footage. That being said, I want to show you how we're going to shift this car. I'm midway through the process, and what's going on right now is that we've made some assemblies here. This arm right here is the select arm, which is a repurposed shift arm from another F35 transmission with the weight cut off here. The weight used to stick out the backside. And this is a select arm welded onto a shift arm to change the location of where this ball is. So in this case, basically what's going on is the shift cable is going to come in from this side somewhere, or this side. And then it's going to pull the proper direction on the Fiero shifter to make it shift well. I'm going to use 2 Getrag select cables from Rodney Dickman for this, which they should be here tomorrow. Right now, I am working on making the bracket that holds these in the right position, but I'm sure that the position that I've got these in on the transmission is going to be adequate, so I'm happy with that. Okay, so after much deliberation off camera, I've come up with the system in which I've made a bracket that's bolting to the motor mount. This bracket's temporary for the moment. What I have done is set this up so that there's adjustment here, so I can adjust the shift cable back and forth along this pivot and give me adjustment in throw so that I don't have to get it absolutely perfect initially. And if I want, I can either lock this in place or I can leave this adjuster nut for later. 3rd and 4th. So what's going on here? 3rd, 4th. Seems to be good. Now I'm gonna have to make one for the select arm on this side. Should be able to shift just fine. It's shift cables. These shift cables are from Rodney Dickman, who makes awesome Fiero parts forever and ever. And these are actually 2 select cables, but they are thick enough to use as shift cables, and we're going to use them to make this F35 transmission shift. I can't say enough good things about Rodney Dickman. If you own a Fiero and haven't bought from Rodney Dickman, then go to his website, rodneydickman.com. He is awesome, and he's never done me wrong in 20 years. Builds parts that would be impossible to really effectively build Fieros without. So support him. Okay, I don't want to be too proud of myself here because these tacks are ugly, and I probably should remake this whole thing in a much nicer material that I haven't cut up and, uncut up a bunch of times. But I can shift. I can shift this thing, and I'm kind of super excited. Here is the final summation of what we have right now, and I'll have to reinforce and lock all these in place and things like that. But and this is the miracle of the mock-up bay. I had to do a couple things. I had to extend the shift arm back a little bit because I'm using 2 select cables, and the select cables seem to have a shorter throw. So either you need to move this thing forward or you need to move that lever back. I found it easier to move that lever back and then cut a little bit out of the way so it could go back and forth. In any case, let's see if you can get all of this in one shot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, reverse. The glory. Welcome back. Today we're working on the donor car. The donor car inside has its secrets hidden, or its wiring harness. We're going to have to extract the wiring harness from the donor car. I've got Dan Fetter with me again. We're gonna do our best, try to get this harness out of the car. The car's pretty crushed. This car rolled 6 times during its accident. Before you answered down in the comments, the guy was a friend of mine. He survived. He's just fine. But the car is really, really messed up. think you still have to use the handle.
Wow.
Oh yeah. Hey, that door frame's great. It's good. Just roll up the window. Whoa. Ooh. The roof kind of still intact. I haven't looked in this in a while. It's pretty nasty in here. Some rain's got in here. It's a lot of broken glass. No, okay. That door doesn't shut. That's fine. It's over there, door. Can you believe the airbag's deployed? This is barely an accident. Yeah, there used to be an engine in here. Hey, that frame's okay. Just a couple things smashed, no big deal. Yeah, it'll buff out. It's gonna buff out, no worries. I don't think we need to get the insurance companies involved. Let me take it to my body guy. We're cutting the windshield out. We're cutting out the windshield by cutting around the shape. I'm going to take this piece of wood, I shove it up in here to give you clearance to cut. We just need to get as much out as we can because it's sitting on the dash. I mean, you could take the dash out normally with the windshield in place, but since this windshield's smashed, it's sitting right on top of it.
And there's water on it.
Right. There's that too.
Tape.
I'm just trying to. All right, I'm gonna come on the other side. So I'm gonna try to shop back it before we pull it out the carpets.
Cut.
What? That'll make this job way easier. Well, you know, this is our property forever, so I really can't get glass everywhere, and I'm not trying to get cut, so I gotta vacuum all this glass out so when we pull the carpets, we don't get glass all over the ground and my kids don't pick it up. So I guess I'm gonna try to vacuum this out.
On the hot day.
Ooh, that door still opens. Well, after what seems like an insane amount of vacuuming, most of the glass is gone. There's probably still a bunch of glass on the dash, but that's just gonna have to fall out after we get this. The main object here is to remove the carpet and remove the dash so that we can remove the BCM and delicately remove the wiring harness. So that's what we're gonna try to do. Is there one on both sides? Yeah. I knew that. Never mind. Everybody's removed. Why cut it? I'm trying to label stuff as I take it out, is this harness might be very complex when I'm just sitting on the ground trying to look at what the hell's going on. So this is the right hand tail light. So I'm going to label that as such. I've done a lot of other labeling, but you don't need to see all that. There are dash supports on each side of the dash, so I'm going to remove the 10 millimeters that are associated with them.
One side, go back to the other side. Well, you were right. Came off in one piece.
Since then, I've been in love with auto electric.
Hey, lunchtime.
Don't you dare.
Changed my mind.
I know. Whoa! Woo! Dude, Dan, he took the dash out, but he forgot to record the whole thing, so now you're just gonna have to look at it on the ground.
Welcome.
Yeah, you're welcome, dude. We gotta strip the harness out of the dash and steering column out of it in case I need it.
It's in my pocket. There's a clip right there. That's the only thing holding you up. I told you not to do that. It hurts. Oh, no, never mind. It's not attached.
Oh, okay. Do it.
So we have, what is that? That was the dash harness right there.
Dash harness,
We got the steering column.
steering column, body harness, and battery cables.
Yeah.
Oh man, we have a delivery. Some of you might know what this is. And you're like, comment below after I say what it is. 43,000 mile. Just leave people wondering what Fiero this is going in. Be careful, we're backing a truck up. It's bringing in Daddy's new motor. Okay, cool. Keep on coming.
Hey, this thing just got light. You. All right, now the pin.
I got him. Got it. But did you die? All right. Good. He's good. Would not be in the way. All right. Yes. Now I'll be able to put my tools on top of that.
I was gonna suggest the intake, but it's up there.
All right, you guys. So we are so close to having this build finally finished. So close to having this build finally finished. And thank you guys for watching so far. If you haven't already, like this video. If you like this video,
Don't forget to hit that big red button that says subscribe.
Our Etsy shop is still up and going, you guys. So if you would like to go buy some Lightspeed Fiero merchandise, don't forget you guys can go do that at etsy.com/shop/Lightspeed Fieros. And we will see you guys on the next episode.